Okay. So I'm pretty sure all of you guys hate the sound of the alarm clock every morning. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
So before coming to college, our schedule used to be perfect. We used to do our homework during the day and we used to sleep at night. But when we started college, it seems like there's always homework to do, midterms to study for, and some of us have to work, so there's not enough time for anything. After so many activities, we realized that we're extremely tired and because of the lack of sleep. So today I'm going to explain to you the consequences of sleep deprivation and how to treat it. So we're supposed to divide the 24 hours of the day in 3 parts. 8 hours of sleeping, 8 hours of relaxation, and 8 hours of work. But according to the Journal of Adolescent Health, 68% of the students are awake all night at least once a month, and 20% of them do not sleep because of the stress. Stress affects our sleeping more than caffeine or alcohol. You're probably wondering why stress affects our sleeping. Well, our stress releases an hormone called cortisol, which is also responsible for fight responses. That means that it gives us energy, which keeps us awake. Anxiety is another factor because it keeps our minds busy as we imagine bad scenarios and worry about what happens next. The racing of our mind can deprive our sleep by keeping our cortisol high, making sleep harder to achieve. Now that we know that the principal cause of sleep deprivation is the stress, I'm going to tell you some of the consequences. First, by not getting enough sleep, we have a decrease in performance and alertness. Reducing our nighttime sleep by as little as 1.5 hours for just one night could reduce our alertness by as much as 32% during the day. Having our alertness low causes distraction, which might lead to automobile injuries. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that 100,000 automobile crashes a year are a consequence of sleepy drivers. In this graph, we can see that there are more accidents as a consequence of sleepy driver, that is the pink color, than for drunk drivers, that is the blue. According to the studies, a study published in the British Medical Journal reported that sleep deprivation can have some of the same effects as being drunk. People who drove after being awake for 17 to 19 hours perform worse than those with a blood alcohol level of 0.05%. And another study suggested that performance began to degrade after 16 hours awake. And 21 hours awake was an equivalent to a blood alcohol content of 0.08%, which is the alcohol limit for drunk driving in Canada, the UK, and the US. Another consequence is memory and cognitive loss. Sleepiness impairs our memory and our cognitive ability. Common examples of this can be forgetting the answers in a test or forgetting to bring an important book to school. And finally, but not least important, as a consequence of lack of sleep, we have poor quality of life. We start becoming lazy, whether the size of the task. We're always tired. Some people take the situation as the beginning of laziness. However, it's nothing but the demand of your body for some days. Now, for all you guys that have trouble sleeping, I'm going to tell you some of the treatments. The first one is natural sleeping pills. They have to be natural, because if they're not natural, you might feel like, you're going to be sleeping, but you're not going to be resting. So when you wake up, the next day when you wake up, you're going to feel as tired as before. Also, relaxation techniques like meditation. I've never tried this one before, but I know friends that have done it, and they sleep like babies. Another is diet and exercise. In diet, try to eat 2 hours before going to bed, and try to avoid like alcohol, caffeine, or spicy food, whatever. And exercise, by only 15 to 30 minutes a day is good, because it will make you mentally and physically tired. And my favorite is power naps. I love taking naps. But try to not exceed 30 minutes a day, because if you sleep like for 2 hours, just one nap, you're going to be so tired and lazy. And in conclusion, if you guys want to succeed in your daily life, try to not get stressed and get enough sleep. That's it.
Right, so Justin, what did you think? think she had a good intro. It got my attention. She had great eye contact. She looked down just a little bit, but that was just to see where she was at in her speech. Her thesis was clear. I like how she used the citation. She did a good job with that. And her speech was really easy to follow. Like she told us like what she was going to talk about next. The visual aids were good, and I didn't find anything she could work on except for she was tapping on the podium a lot. Like, but I mean, it's not that bad.
All right. The attention device was fine. I thought that you did a nice job trying to create a commonality with the audience at the beginning, a very clear thesis statement. Your preview, I think it could use a little slower presentation and a little bit more detail in it, but there is a structural layout. You've got a good definition early on, and you do a good job citing your sources for the most part. Sometimes the explanations feel rushed, and in fact, as a criticism of the delivery, I think that's one of the problems. You need to pace yourself a little bit more. You're rushing through the material. It's well organized internally. There are fairly easy signposts to keep track of. It's a problem-solution sort of structure with a little bit of topical stuff on the problem. The visual materials is fine. The first two images are basically just wallpaper in the background. They don't add much to our understanding of the subject. I thought the pie chart was good except for the lack of contrast in the colors. That's one of those things where you want to make them a little bit more distinct. So especially since it's just two parts, we want to be able to tell where the differences are. And I tell you what, sitting back here with the lights on, it's, I could see it, but I'm having to struggle a little bit, and it shouldn't be that hard. It should be easy. All right, thank you.